Hello everybody, welcome back. Here are some language games for kids with autism. They are based on both picture and word associations. The first way you could do it is by using real objects, and you would do this if your child doesn't fully understand that a picture or a photo represents the real thing. In other words, he would see a picture of a dog but not understand that it represents a real dog. So you lay out the objects in random order. Here I've got some examples. There's a fork, a knife, a face cloth, a soap, pen and paper. At this stage, it's just a cognitive activity. And you would say to your child, match, just use one word. He would then have to pick up the knife and the fork and put them together, pick up the soap and face cloth and put it together, put the pen and paper together. And if he makes a mistake, you would simply correct him by matching the correct items. If he is non-verbal, and let's say he has successfully completed the activity, you could do one of two things. You could label the item for him. So you could say knife by pointing to the knife, or fork by pointing to the fork. But you would do this after he has completed the matching. Also, you could say to him, after he has done the matching, show me the fork or point to the fork. So in this way, he will learn to match items that go together, and at the same time, he will learn to name them. And he may also point to them if you ask him to do so. The other way to do it is to use pictures or photos instead of real objects, and you would do this if your child understands that a picture or a photo represents an object in the real world. You would lay out the pictures randomly and then ask your child to match. Use only the one word or instruction, which is to say match. Once he has matched everything successfully, you could then ask him to name the objects. You can say, what's this? And point to the bone, or what's this? And point to the egg. If he is non-verbal, you could ask him to point to or to show you the dog. So he doesn't actually need to say the word dog, he would just need to point to it or show it to you. And you would do the questioning only after the matching activity is completed. The other way that you could do it is to buy a word association game or puzzle instead of using your own words and pictures. You could purchase these puzzles. Here's one from Smart that I've shown, one from Creatives, and they tend to be quite reasonably priced. The other thing that you could do is to download online worksheets or obtain them from preschool workbooks. These worksheets tend to require your child to do the same thing, which is to connect related objects, but he would do it by drawing a line from one object to its partner. So in these instances, how you do the language activity is that after your child has completed matching the puzzle pairs, you could then ask your child to name the objects or to show you the object or point to the object. And in this way, in addition to doing the cognitive activity of matching, your child is also engaging in some speaking by naming or labeling objects. Now, if your child is able to communicate and is also able to read, you then do not need to use any photos or pictures or real objects. You could then make up lists of word pairs which you write down, and you use these word pairs to do the association game. But you are going to use word pairs that you think your child will know and understand. In other words, do not use words, pairs that are unfamiliar to your child or that will cause difficulty because he doesn't have the background knowledge to be able to do the pairing. So you would then ask your child, why do these two words go together? Or why do these two go together? Or why do chicken and eggs go together? Your child would then have to use the words that he knows in order to answer your question by verbally explaining the relationship between the two items. For example, if you ask, why do chicken and eggs go together? Your child could then say something like, chicken lays eggs or chicken makes eggs. If he does this, you would give him lots of verbal praise, and if you like, you could also give your child a reward when the activity is done. Don't overcorrect. As long as it's clear that your child understands the relationship and has explained it in some way, give him lots of praise. So this activity in the situation where your child can read, is literate, has a much wider range. The wider a child's understanding and range of vocabulary, the more it will be possible to expand the game to include all types of relationships. A table and chair, for instance, are both furniture, so he would have to explain, if he's so able, that the connection between a table and a chair is that they are both, it's both furniture. And this is a classification of an object. A cake in an oven, he could say a cake is baked in an oven. If you had a picture or the words Anna and Elsa and Frozen, he would then have to say to you, well, Anna and Elsa are princesses in the movie Frozen, and so forth. So you would be able to use word pairs in many different ways, but they would have to match your child's background knowledge and his abilities. There are in fact many such games that can be used to encourage your child to reason and to communicate. In the coming weeks, I hope to post further examples. Remember not to overwhelm your child by asking him questions about the relationships between all kinds of things in all different places and situations. Every situation should not become a game or a series of questions and answers. This will be intrusive and it will become too much for him. Restrict the activity to a particular time in the day and possibly include it in your child's visual routine. But whatever you do, the activity should always remain enjoyable and challenging, and it should not frustrate your child or make him anxious. If this happens, it could be an indication that he does not understand the material, or he doesn't understand what he is expected to do, or perhaps you have not included it in his routine and he expected to do something else. Thanks for listening, and I hope that this video will be of use to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like more useful and practical information on helping to raise your child with autism. Thank you and goodbye.